Hello all, welcome to our channel Tech LT World. Today's topic that we are going to discuss is RLF, okay, that we call it as a radio link failure in LT. Okay, so if you talk about the radio link failure, or we can call it normally drop, okay. So today we will discuss this radio link failure topic. Okay, so when you talk about radio link failure, this is basically it can be detected by, or it can be initiated by two entities. Okay, so basically we are going to discuss about UV detected RLF, okay, which is as per 3GPP. Okay, so there are eNodeB detected or initiated RLF also. Okay, so it is basically also vendor specific. Okay, so basically for this particular videos we are going to target on UV detected radio link failure. Okay, so I have already mentioned that RLF we can call it as, or we can consider it as a call drop ratio. Okay, so basically when I'm talking about the call drop, so this will associate with the network performance. Okay, so it will give you the idea with how many, suppose how many calls are initiated and connected and how many got dropped due to any conditions. Okay, or what are the RLF radio link failure conditions we are going to discuss. Okay, so let's start with. So basically, we are going to discuss this radio link failure, okay, which is detected by the UV, okay, and we are going to discuss mostly this four scenario in this video today. Okay, so these four scenarios are basically one scenario when your T300 timer got expired. Okay, other scenario when our UV reaches the maximum number of uplink RLC retransmission. The third scenario where your T304 expire, or we can call it as the RLF due to handover. Okay, and the last one is the non-handover related RACH problem. Okay, so in this normal RACH failure will trigger that RLF. Okay, we will discuss one by one about this RLF issue in this all four aspects. Okay, so we will move to the first one, that is T300. Okay, so let me point out one or two more points before moving to the description or in detail of T300 timer expiry. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about the T300 timer expiry, this particular RLF scenario, okay, so basically in this you can say the term that are going to come into the picture. Okay, that is blur in and out. Okay, N310 counter, N311 timer, T310 and T311. This four will come into the picture when we are going to discuss about the T300 expiry. Okay, whenever we are going to discuss about the reaching of the maximum number of uplink RLC retransmission. Okay, so in this you can say uplink polling timer can come into the picture. Okay, uh, max UL RLC transmission can come into the picture. Okay, or max UL HARC transmission number, TX number will come into the picture. Okay, and whenever we are talking about this RACH, procedure failure, okay, in which you can consider like preamble, transmax. Okay, these are the terms will come into this particular. Okay, okay, and whenever you talk about the handover, T30 failure. Okay, so T30 will expire. And these are the important terms which are going to come into these four scenarios. Okay, now let's go one by one and we'll discuss each scenarios. Okay, so let's talk about T300. Okay, so let's draw one diagram. This will give us a very good understanding about the scenarios for each. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about this, the first case, give me one moment. The first case is T310 expiry. So let me write down. It is T310 expiry case. Okay. So with a normal figure, we can understand. So let's suppose your UV is already in a connected mode. Okay. And normal call or normal session is going on. Okay, there is no any issues. Okay, and suddenly what happened at this particular point? Okay, suppose if we face some radio related problem. Okay, at this particular point, so let me change the color. Okay, so in this particular radio related issue happened. Okay, so radio related issue means any disturbance in the network. Okay, that is physical layer related issue. Okay, radio problem arises at this particular time. So what will happen at this particular point? Your counter N310 will start. Okay, so this counter basically, if you talk about N310, this we call it as a out of sync indicator. Okay, so out of sync indicator will start at this particular point. Okay, and normally the value for this, if you'll go with in a system, it can be maximum of 20. Okay, so it depends, means what exactly you are going to put, but 20 is the maximum value that we put it in a system. Okay, so that it can count up to 20 times. Okay, that it is going out of sync, out of sync, out of sync, like this. Okay, so it is going to count. So maximum we are putting the value 20. Okay, so it is getting time up to this particular count. Basically one count is of one subframe, and if you're talking one subframe, definitely it is of 1 ms. Okay, so this is basically, that's why we call it as a counter. So N310 will count in a system. It is, I have seen in multiple system it is like 20. Okay, so suppose if it is not 20, you can make it 20 so that it can it can count, it can stay for maximum time to recover. Okay, and when exactly it will start? At this particular point when we are telling that it is out of sync, basically at that particular time your blur will bad. Okay, or you can say, we can set more than 10% like that, and then it will start counting. Okay, so this is what your radio related issue. Okay, and once this time period, this radio problem detected and it is not able to recover at this particular point, okay, then what will happen? At this point your timer T310 will start. Okay, so timer T310 will start at this particular point. If we'll talk about the values of T310, it is system to system. So I have seen maximum time it is 2000 ms or 22,000 ms, 2200 ms. Okay, it depends. Okay, system to system. And when I am talking about T310 timer, so this timer is used for detecting the radio link failure. Okay, so once this 2000 ms that we have set, okay, and this timer will trigger only after your radio related issue will be there. Okay, so if UV does not receive any data on the particular radio link for this particular duration, T310 duration, okay, then we can assume it as a radio link failure due to T310 expiry. Okay, so let's suppose 2000 ms is up to here. Okay, so when 2000 ms millisecond time passed, okay, then it will declare as a RLF failure. But before that, before your T310 stops, suppose, so this is the time where it can try to recover. Okay, try to recover. Okay, so in this particular time, your one of the counter that will start, that is N311. Okay, and this particular counter we call it as a in sync indicator. Okay, so this in sync indicator that we are talking about. Okay, so if we will go, okay, the value for this, basically we used to put it as a 1 in the sense, okay, if at any instant of point it find a good or it try to recover, it will be taking time for one count, and it will be trying to get to the normal scenarios at that particular duration. Suppose we will extend this particular time from 1 to 4 or 5 count, then it will take much more time to recover. Okay, because this will depend on the blur. Okay, whatever the blur we are going to put, so in 10% it triggered this one. Okay, so at some particular point, suppose it is 2% or 1% where we have set this N311. So at this particular point the blur is good. Okay, and we have put count as a 3, might be that particular instance will pass if we will have the maximum value for this. Okay, that's why we are putting as minimum so that it can come in the sync. Okay, so this is what exactly your in sync indicator means. Okay, and if it got recovered, this will go to the normal scenario. If not, then your T310 will stop here. Okay, and at this particular point your UV is going to, at this particular point your U is going to declare as a RLF happen. Okay, that is drop. So this is the scenario where you are going to consider that okay, RLF occurred. Okay, so once this RLF occurred, now your T311, this is one of the timer which will start. Okay, and this T311, the significance of this particular timer is that it will be used for RRC connection re-establishment attempt. Okay, during this duration. Okay, so it will be little bit more than that, suppose 2200 ms or 25. Okay, so it will be more than this. Okay, and at this particular duration your RRC re-establishment, okay, procedure will take place. Okay, and once your T311 stops, okay, now at this particular point it is going back to idle mode. Okay, and once it will go to idle, so it will then go for the cell reselection procedure, and it will do the what you can say the tracking area update and all. Okay, to latch with other cell. Okay, so in this there is one more interesting fact, that when we talk about the RRC connection, okay, RRC connected scenario, so it will not like that it will be RRC connected. We can consider that okay, at this particular point it will be RRC connected, and after that it will go to idle. No, uh, till your T311 stop, at this particular point we are considering it as a RRC connected, and after that your system is considering it in a idle mode. Okay, so this is your first scenario where T310 expires, that is this one. Okay, and this one is basically detected by UV and telling it as a RLF, or considering the RLF based on T310. Okay, now we will go with the different other scenarios. Okay, and this is basically reaching to the maximum number of RLC retransmission. Okay, so this is the second scenario. Okay, where you can consider max number of UL RLC retransmission. Okay, exceeded. Okay, this is one of the other case. So let's consider in that particular manner only. Okay, that your session is going, your UV is going with normal session. Okay, and what happened in this particular case when we are talking about maximum RLC retransmission? Okay, so at this particular point, previously it faced the radio related problem, but here exactly it find that the retransmission of RLC is basically happening. Okay, so RLC retransmission started from at this particular point. Okay, and up to what time this RLC retransmission will be happening? Till your RLC max retransmission value. Okay, so one more point I need to tell. RLC here basically two three things will be come into the picture. Okay, if you will little bit dig down, so IEs or parameters that you will consider, that is maximum uplink RLC transmission. Okay, that basically value is 8. Okay, max hark, okay, UL arc is 5. Okay, and one more thing will come into the picture, UL T-pole timer. Okay, that is 60 ms or 50 ms, depends. Okay, so what exactly scenario, if you'll go with a little bit big picture, what exactly happens here? Okay, till reaching to the RLC max retransmission. Okay, so suppose the packet is being sent, if you go with a little larger picture here. Okay, so packet is being sent. Okay, from, you can say, UV. Okay, UV to your node. Okay, so at this particular point, your UL T-pole timer will start. Whenever it will start sending the packet, it will go till here and it will try to receive at this particular time. Okay, if it is trying to send and at particular layer or at particular uh, MAC layer, okay, it is not able to send, so is in this particular time it will be going with the multiple retransmission case. Okay, and that retransmission which we are talking about, okay, that the count, maximum retransmission count is 8. Okay, and then it will send the NAC that, okay, I haven't received the packet. Okay, and your UL T-pole timer, which is has been started from here, will stop at this particular point, and again it will send the packet. Again, your this T-pole timer will start, and that it will do till 5 times. That is the maximum arc process we have set is 5. Okay, this is what exactly the understanding, small understanding I was giving it here. Okay, so let's forget about this. We now the focus on the regular process, that UV was going with the normal, what you can say, normal scenarios. Okay, and in this particular time it faces the RLC transmission, some issue related to RLC transmission. Okay, and so basically when it start facing this issue, in this particular it will try it. So this can be 8, this can be 16 also. So suppose 16 is the value. Okay, so 16 time RLC max transmission it will do. It will reach to the maximum 16 value. If it is not getting it is, if it is not able to send the RLC packets, okay, then at this particular time, once it will reach to the 16, then it will start the timer T311. Okay, and at this particular time, when it reaches 16, it will declare as a RLF. Okay, drop will be happen, then RRC re-establishment process will happen at this particular duration. Okay, and when it will not able to recover at this particular time, your T311 is going to stop and it will again go to idle mode, and it will be going to do the cell reselection. Okay, tracking area update and all this thing. Okay, this is what your second scenario, that is due to maximum UL RLC retransmission exceed case. Okay, I believe that you must understand this one. Okay, now these two scenario we have discussed. Now the third one is handover failure. So RLF due to handover. Okay, so let's go and we can let me change the color. Okay, so this third scenario that we are going to discuss, that RLF due to handover. And whenever I'm talking about the handover, the timer for handover is T304. So basically T304 expiry we are considering this particular case. Okay, so let me draw the same scenario, which will be always means it will be easy to visualize. Okay, so okay, sorry, I'm not able to draw the straight line here. Yeah, so whenever your UV doing the normal sessions, okay, or in a normal whatever the ongoing processes there, okay, and at this some particular point when it start facing the issue, so what exactly will happen? So for handover we have a different video, but at this particular time, okay, in a RRC reconfiguration, if you will check, it will send in a RRC reconfiguration where basically handover command it used to send, okay, in RRC reconfiguration log, okay, in that particular it will be sending that start the T304 timer. Okay, so at this particular point your T304 timer will start, where exactly it will trying to attempt for the handover. So basically it is trying to attempt for, sorry, for PRACH, where to the serving cell or the target one. So basically towards the target, okay, target cell, okay, when this T304 timer will start. So in this particular duration it will try to send the PRACH to the target. Okay, basically your T30 timer is running, okay, when exactly your UV is trying to access your target cell, and once your T30 timer stops, okay, suppose it got stopped at this particular time and you are not able to attempt the, you are not able to do the PRAS to the target, okay, at this particular point it is your UV is going to declare as a RLF, and this RLF or drop will be packed or considered as a due to handover failure. Okay, and again at this particular time, again what will happen, your T311 will start, okay, do the RRC re-establishment process, okay, and at this particular point T311 will stop and it will go back to idle, and the same process it will follow. Okay, so this scenario, and already I have told you, let me repeat it again. So from here to here it will be in a considered as a connected mode, okay, and after that it will be in idle. So this is one of the scenario or RLF failure due to your handover expiry. Okay, T304 expiry, that is due to handover. Okay, now the fourth scenario that we are going to discuss is the handover due to non-HO related or basically the RACH related issue. Okay, okay, I have discussed three here. So okay, this one is your fourth scenario. Okay, so here we are considering non-HO related RACH. Okay, means the RACH failure is not related to the handover. Okay, so let's again, it's the scenario anyhow, we are going to repeat the scenario. Okay, okay, yeah, so in this particular, let's take an example. So UV is going with the normal session. Okay, normal session is going on, and at some particular point it fails, or at this particular point it's not like it fails. Suppose in this particular point what will happen, like RACH triggered, okay, and we know when RACH is triggered, okay, RACH is triggered whenever like uplink sync is required. RACH is triggered when your handover is required. Okay, so these are the things, and here the RACH got triggered. Okay, due to any reasons. Okay, like you can take your PUCCH resource basically is missing. Okay, is missing. Okay, or PDCCH order is missing. Okay, so in this particular, it will tell that okay, try to attempt for the RACH. So in this particular duration, okay, it will be trying to attempt for RACH. So in previous handover scenario, what was happened? It was also trying to do or trying to send the PRACH, but it was sending to the target one. Okay, and in this scenario, what will happen? We are attempting the PRACH to the serving cell only. Okay, why? Because somewhere we are missing the PUCCH. Okay, and we are missing the PDCCH order. Due to that, basically we are trying. Okay, so we will try to attempt that RACH procedure to the serving cell in this particular duration, and if it is not able to recover the RACH till this duration, what will happen at this particular point? It will mention that RLF happened, and this RLF we are putting in a bucket of RACH problem. Okay, and at this particular point, again your T311 will start. Okay, it can be value like 2500 ms. Okay, system to system. Okay, and we are giving maximum time to do the RRC connection re-establishment process, and once it is not able to do that, then it will stop, go to the idle mode, and it will try to do the cell reselection, tracking area update. Okay, and all this. Okay, so these are the four basic scenarios, okay, where UV is detecting the RLF. Okay, so if you talk about the eNodeB detected RLF, okay, so eNodeB also detect, or you can say detecting the RLF or initiating the radio link failures. There are few scenarios I'm not going to discuss here, but yeah, it can be CQI, discontinuous transmission detection. Okay, or it can be the PDCCH order also here in this RLF. Okay, or suppose uplink PUSCH discontinuous transmission has been detected. Okay, in uplink. Okay, so these are the scenarios where your eNodeB also can trigger. So CQI is basically one of the important key point. So in this video, anyhow, we are not going to discuss with this. Hope, I believe that you are definitely able to understand these four crucial scenarios. Okay, for the RLF detected by the UV. Okay, so thanks everyone for being on this video for till here. Okay, we will be coming with the different videos. Probably we have already handover video, but I will try to come with the handover video in details with the logs. Okay, so thanks everyone for your support till now that you are giving. Okay, thank you. We'll meet again in a different video. Thanks a lot.